Assalamu alaikum. A very good afternoon to everyone. This is Faisal Nadeem from AMP, Association of Muslim Professionals. A very warm welcome to everyone. Today we are here for the AMP Free Employability Training Program. The topic for today is professional CV and resume writing skills. I would now do a short presentation about AMP. AMP India Foundation. AMP India Foundation is a non-for-profit organization registered under Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013, the Government of India, for providing voluntary social services to meet the needs of underprivileged individuals, that is, upliftment of the underserved and needy through education and vocational training, employment support, medical relief, economic empowerment, student mentorship, and guidance. The above series are provided to needy individuals irrespective of caste, creed, and religion. Employment assistance. Keeping in mind of the AMP core objective of supporting the underprivileged, promoting education and creating economic empowerment, AMP has launched a special project named Employment Assistance Cell, and today it is one of the core projects of AMP. Our major EAC activities include job fairs, job drives, employability training programs in colleges, skill training, company tie-ups, candidate mobilization, skill development courses. Job fair. Job fair is one of the flagship project of AMP. We have successfully organized 43 plus job fairs till date. Every job fair has a participation of minimum 50 companies and 2,000 plus candidates. AMP has organized job fairs in the past in collaboration with Thane Police, Aurangabad Police, West Bengal Minority Finance Development Corporation, Andhra Pradesh State Minorities Finance Corporation, and other different NGOs. Job drives. Job drives are similar to fairs but organized on a much smaller scale compared to job fairs. In a job drive, we typically invite only up to 2 to 3 corporates who have specific openings and advertise their openings profiles in order to attract suitable candidates. Employability training program. PTP is developed by the AMP to assist job seekers find the right job at the right place at the right time. We team up with the colleges in different cities and conduct PTP programs online as well as offline. Our training programs will cover some of the following topics are personality development, effective CV writing, interview techniques, job searching strategy. Aims to create awareness and groom young graduates for aspiring to be professionals. Skill training company tie-ups. AMP has partnered with reputed skill training companies like Tata, Whirlpool, Tech Mahindra Foundation, etc. We have also arranged skill training melas in Mumbai by inviting around 20 skill training companies to hire and train unskilled candidates who could not pursue their higher studies after 10th and 12th standard. Candidate mobilization. AMP has mobilized candidates for various skill development courses like home appliances technician, AC technician, mobile repairing technician, and solar engineering under Skill India mission in centers all across India. Our achievements, employment assistance, 43 plus job fairs out of which 9 online job fairs, 275 plus job drives out of which 20 online job drives, 220 plus employability training programs out of which 37 online meetings, 100 plus mock interviews in colleges, 25,000 plus candidates placed in jobs. Career Fest, organized 6 career fairs benefited around 1,50,000 plus students. Our new initiative, EmpowersJobs.com, connecting right talent with the right opportunity. EmpowersJobs.com was launched on 6 December 2020. It is a unique job portal with comprehensive offerings introduced by AMP India Foundation for job seekers, especially those hit by the COVID pandemic. Thank you, everyone. Now I would like to invite Siddiqui Abubakar sir about the college.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It's a happy occasion to be on this webinar for this training program. And of course, I would like to thank AMP for giving this opportunity to our institution. And to give a brief introduction about our institution, Haji Kartarautar Haudia College was established in the year 1956 by the late Haji Muhammad Mira Rautar. He is popularly known as Haji Kartarautar in this region of Tamil Nadu. And the institution has fulfilled the dreams of its founder by imparting education to different sections of society. And our vision is to provide the best type of higher education to all, especially to students hailing from minority Muslim community, rural agricultural families, and other deprived, underprivileged sections of the society. And the institution is very much is in a position to inculcate a sense of social responsibility in them. Our college is committed to produce a talented, duty-bound citizen to take up the challenges of the changing times. The mission of our institution is to impart and inculcate social values, spirit of service, and religious tolerance as envisioned by our beloved founder, President Haji Karutarautar. And keeping this ourselves as the striving values, we take every opportunity to guide our students, and we are happy to join hands with the AMP so that we could impart not only just basic level of knowledge, but we would like to uh, take the students to the next level by providing these kinds of training programs. And I personally thank AMP for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the introduction about the college. Now I would like to introduce today's trainer of the session, Mr. Rahil Khan, sir, who is an academic head of Jamia College of Pharmacy. Mr. Rahil Khan is a postgraduate in pharmacology, having over 13 years of experience in leading national and international universities as an academician. He gained additional experience through working in India as well as international multinationals at different positions such as marketing executive, business development manager, pharmacist, and even served as a regional training manager in a healthcare company. He is also a managing editor of Indian Journal of Science and Pharma Innovations. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Rahil Khan to please take over the session.
Thank you very much, Mr. Faisal and Siddiq sir as well for inviting me to deliver the session on writing a powerful resume. And before starting, I would just like to share my screen with the students, and I would like to request the students to please be with me. If anything comes to your mind, please write it in the chat box. If I ask you something, you can reply me through the chat box. And after the session, inshallah, we will have the time wherein you can ask me the questions directly. So be with us. Thank you very much. And if I'm audible, I would like the students to please say yes if I'm audible to you. Very good. Thank you. Someone is replying, someone is responding. And these kind of responses will, put myself into a position where I can deliver you with utmost ease. All right. So is the PowerPoint visualized to you? Can you view the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. Thank you very much. And am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir, you are audible clearly.
Thank you very much. So this is our session, writing standout resumes. Now, what does that mean? Standout means, and why you should pay utmost concentration while you are writing a resume. That all things we are going to study, we are going to learn today. And I don't want you people to just, be in a student's mode, wherein you are sitting in a lecture and listening to someone. Take it more as a practical knowledge. Take it more as in terms that you are going to grab a job. Okay. So this is the topic which we are going to discuss today. That is writing standout resumes and how to impress recruiter and land your dream job. All right. What we are going to cover today. That is, the number one is what is a resume. What is the difference between a resume and a CV? We are also going to discuss different resume formats. Then we are also going to discuss the need. What you need to know before making a resume. Okay, the sections of a resume, which is the most crucial part. Layout, which is another crucial part, and resume writing tips from my own site. Okay, so let's move towards this thing. My introduction has been already beautifully given by Mr. Faisal, so no need to go into this, but for your quick brief, relevant to the topic, that since more than 10 years I am into this particular field now, where I am delivering sessions for the students. And why I have got this mastery into this particular form, because I have mixed bunch of experience. I have worked into various corporate industries as well as I'm working as an academician. So I know the mindset of the students and I know what market needs. So that's why I can help you in how to write an awesome resume. Okay, before writing, learning this particular thing, that how to write a beautiful resume, let me ask you one simple question, and you can type in chat box the answer. Why you all are studying? Why do people study? Likewise, you are into your final years of your college. May I know in what streams you are in?
They are from English literature, sir.
Oh, they are from English literature. Very good.
Final year undergraduates and postgraduates.
Undergraduates. Okay. To stand in our own leg through a job. Good. Next, anyone else can answer this? Okay, so most prominently the answer from your side will be that most of the people wants to do a job or they want to work. That's why they are studying. And if I will ask you, why would you like to earn? Why would you like to work? To have a good living? Very good. Very good. To live, to become independent? Okay. Good answers. Very good. Very good. To earn a comfortable life? Very good. Very good. Any thought about career? Any thought about career? Lead a wealthy life. Good answer. So why we all are studying? Basically, we want to earn, to make a beautiful living and to make a career as well. Okay, because we don't have any kind of Aladdin ka chirag. Okay, wherein we can rub the lamp and we can have a kind of genie which will come and he or she can fulfill our desires. So basically, we all are learning to do a beautiful job, to do a job which can lead us towards a beautiful career and earning as well, because earning without career is worthless. Okay, and only earning without making a career is also not good. So we all are learning to have a beautiful career, as to have a good earning. Okay, and for this particular part, because knowledge, you people are from English literature background, so you have learned all those things, whether it is about Shakespeare, whether you have learned all the literature. I don't know much about literatures, but I know a very bit of the literatures. Like I have learned Shakespeare for quite some time. I have read it, and there was also some literature about dramas in English which were written, like the Helen of Troy, or about the Roman empires and all. So I have read those things, but I am not good at literature, very good at literature, but I have thought of. So you already have that kind of knowledge into your own segments. The only thing which you don't know, which will come to you today, that is how to land a job and how to do a job. Okay, so if you are going to write a good resume, if you will be able to write a good resume, this is going to become a bridge between you and the employer, or between you and your dream job. Okay, so you have to pay attention towards writing. Now there are two words. One is a resume, another one is a CV. And can anyone give me the full form of CV? I'm sure, pretty much sure, that most of you can give me the full form of CV. Good, I'm getting the answers. Very good, very good. Most of the people know that CV means curriculum vitae. Very good. But do you really know that there's a difference between a resume and a CV as well? Now, what is it? Because many people give this particular kind of thing or take it interchangeably, but it is not interchangeable. Basically, these two things are different. Okay, a resume is different, which we are going to understand today, and I am going to, inshallah, by the end of the session, you will be able to write your own resume. while a CV is a more lengthy or extensive version of a document which actually includes the full extent of your academics, credential and professional experience. Okay, it is a very lengthy document, a curriculum vitae, which can have pages ranging from 4 to 40 in the sense, if a person is having that much of credential to his or her names, like publication, books to his name, achievements, accomplishments, blah blah blah, or experience as well. So most of the people who are above 5 years or 8 years of experience, they actually write a CV, while the people who have only a couple of years of experience or they are freshers, CV is the right option for them. So in your case, you will be resume is the right option for them. So in your case, you will be writing a resume, not a CV. Okay. Resumes are concise documents, and they are point to the point document. Length maybe a couple of pages, means 1 page to 2 page only, and they include mostly only the skills and qualification related to the position. Now understand this point, related to the position I'm talking about, and we are going to discuss this particular point. What does we mean by related to the position? Okay, in later sections. A resume is a written compilation of your education, work experience, credentials and accomplishment that is used to apply for jobs. It is only the most important piece of document for any job application. So we have to be very cautious about this. In resume, we write all those things, like we can write the birth date, we can write the email address, but not your secondary email address. We don't, you do not have to write give more emphasis on your birth date, because the HR manager doesn't know, doesn't want your birth date or all those things, in an important aspect. What they want, those things we are going to discuss. Before that, preparation is the key. Understand this point. Preparation is the key. What you need to know before you writing a resume. Before writing a resume, just sit for quite some time. Okay. Likewise, after this particular session, you can sit alone and think about it. What I am going to mention. Number one thing, know yourself. For writing a beautiful resume, you have to know your own selves. Okay. What your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. Okay. So if you are going to understand what your strengths are and what are your weaknesses, you are going to highlight your strength and you are going to cover your weakness. These are the two crucial points. And how you can benefit by your strengths, how you can benefit the organization where you are going to do the job. Okay. So this is the first thing, know yourself. Number one thing. Next is know the job details. That is knowing the company, that what company you are applying for, what is the background of the company, how old the company is, what is the details of the job, like KRA. In full form, KRA means key result areas. This is a corporate word which means key result areas. Key result areas means wherein you are going to perform, like whether you are going to perform in a sales team, whether you are going to work in a production department, whether you are going to work in a HR department, whether you are going to work in a R&D department, blah, 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 or documentation department, etc., etc., like admin department as well. So these things are there. So you have to know yourself and you have to know the job. Before writing a resume, you have to know both the things. And as I already explained to all the students, that all the major HR companies department, they receive at least 1,000 resumes per month. All the big shot companies, they resume at least 1,000 resumes per month, and maybe 200 to 300 resumes per job. Okay, per positions available. So it depends. Now you have to understand that where you stand amongst them. Okay, where exactly you stand amongst them. We have to think about this. So before writing a resume, you have to consider this thing, like a resume is nothing but a kind of advertisement. Okay, a kind of advertisement which you are putting online, because currently all the things go online, because the jobs will be available on different online portals like Naukri.com, Monster.com, etc., etc. Or you may be going through LinkedIn, which is another profile, professional profile website. You can have something by, you can send your resume by email as well. So it is basically a kind of advertisement. So if you want to grab a job, you have to market yourself. And this is the right tool to market yourself, that is a resume. There are basically three formats of resume. Number one is reverse chronological resume. That means the latest to the last. Okay, the latest to the first experiences, if we are talking about. Okay, this is called as the reverse chronological resume. Next come as the functional or fresher, which focuses on skills and achievement. Okay, and the third one is the combination resume, wherein reverse chronological as well as functional and skills both, and these are best suited for the people who have various set of skills, like someone who is very good in communication, someone who is very good in research and development as well, someone very good in terms of managing people. So this is a kind of resume which is for these kind of people. But for you, the number 2 applies, that is the functional or fresher resume. Now, while building the resume, you have to take this particular thing in consideration. Number one thing, do not copy paste, because most of the people, what they do, they just take someone's resume and paste their name on it. Okay, so which is quite an hazardous job, which can put you in various kind of trouble while you will appear for an interview. So always remember that when you are going to write a resume, it should be completely authentic and it should be completely original, written in your own word. Okay, and the thoughts which will reflect in the resume, it should be yours only. Next is resume shall be designed keeping in mind the employer. Again, I am nagging on this thing, that you should always keep the employer. That means, I want to explain it to you over here, that each time you are applying for different positions or for different companies, you have to polish your resume. You have to restructure it. Okay, now which area or which part as a fresher you are going to restructure, I am going to explain it to you in the later sections. But remember it, for each position, for each employer, you have to restructure your resume. Never refer to the personal advantages the job would bring you. That means you should never explain in your resume that the job will benefit to you. Always try to explain that how you can benefit the job or to the company. Okay, that means simple words. If you are going to buy, if you want to buy a car, may I have something in your side, please? The student side, because the students are more, no, don't go to the car. If you want to buy a mobile phone, because students are more fond of mobile phones in this particular age, I know. If you want to buy a mobile phone, write the model or the company's name, what you want to buy. Just write the name of the mobile or the model number in the chat box. Anyone? Which model number or which mobile you would like to buy? Am I audible, Siddiq sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Thank you very
Clearly.
much. So, students, if I am asking you, please reply. Which is the model or the company's name of a mobile which you would like to buy? iPhone. Very good. Very good. Next. Anyone else? Samsung 13 Pro, Xiaomi Ultra. Very good. Apple, Samsung. Good. The answers are coming. OnePlus, Oppo. Good. It depends on your own criteria and your own desires as well, because mobile phone is a necessity now, but the features comes into that, those are desirable. And there's a difference between needs and desire, but you have your own desires. That's why you are writing these kind of models here. Now let me have this thing from your side. Which is the product over here? Are you the product, or is the Apple is product? Apple is the product. Okay, iPhone is a product, but you are buying it. That means similar thing will apply when you are going for a job. Okay, you are an employee or a job seeker, and the employer will need you. Okay, so why he or she, the employer, will need you? That's why you have to focus on. So your resume will do the rest of the things, because before you reach to the company, if you will be called in an interview, your resume will reach before you. So you have to always consider that resume is a kind of marketing tool which will focus yourself in front of the employer. Fine. So you should always try to be honest and always try to put things like why the company should hire you. Next thing is check for typographical, grammar and spelling errors. And I know you people are from English literature background, so these things will be least considering your condition, because you people are more prompt in terms of grammar and spellings and punctuation and all those things. So you can understand these things very easily. Now, there are some sections, nearly 6 to 7 sections in a resume. And I would like all of you, if you are sitting with a pen and paper, that is very good. If you're not sitting with a pen and paper, then at least you can, take a snap of this particular slide, or you can, what do you call it? You can take a screenshot. Okay. You can take a screenshot of this particular slide. So this is the section 1. Always understand, section 1 is the identification information or the heading. Okay. You can write resume on this as well, but in spite of writing resume, write simply your name. Okay. Likewise, it is written mine over here. That is Rahil Khan. Then write your mobile number, then email address, and then your address. And put a beautiful professional photograph. Okay. Professional photo I'm talking about. Okay. Because nowadays, if you will ask, because I asked various students and they have various different kind of photos when they, when they send their resumes. But you always remember that you have to have a professional photograph, the one which is given over here. Okay. Because most of the people nowadays, they put something on their DP, some weird kind of pictures on their Instagram page, some on their Facebook page. So do not take those photos. Take a beautiful, a clean, professional photo and put it on the side. So this will be your identification section or the heading section. Okay. Then comes the second section, which is a professional summary. We also call it as the objective statement, and both serve the same meaning. So this particular section is known as the objective statement. Objective statement means what is your objective of doing this particular job. So this particular job I'm talking about. Okay. So if you are applying for a sales position, your objective should be taking in consideration the sales position. If you are applying for an administrative post, your objective statement should have that particular, job description into your objective statement. Like, it's the purpose of the resume objective to condense and communicate the most important aspect of the resume in just a few lines. You should not write a paragraph, a couple of lines only. Okay. You just have to think and you have to write a couple of lines. Focus on how you would benefit the employer. Again, this is the same thing. In your objective section, it clearly shows that how you are going to benefit the employer. Okay. And the very cautious point which you have to take in consideration is that stay away from objectives which state working preferences. Okay, like seeking a team oriented environment. Do not write these kind of things like team oriented environment. This is a good statement, but if you are putting something like I seek a team oriented environment, you are actually telling your employer that you will be only comfortable in working in a team, not as a solo candidate. So what if the job require will, you know, if the employer will require you to put in a job wherein you have to perform singularly? So you have to consider these kind of points very cautiously. And another one can be foster professional development. Those mention these kind of work. Okay, like see, you want to develop the organization, okay, and the organization would like to develop by your side. They don't want to develop you only. So you have to take consideration these kind of objectives while you are writing the objective statement. So this was the section number 2. Now comes the section number 3, which is in your condition is the most important section now. That is the educational qualification, because currently you don't have work experience, okay, but you have what? You have the educational qualification. So always go into reverse chronology over here as well. Like the most recent one, which is in your case will be final year BA English Literature. And maybe, am I right?
Yes, sir. BA English Literature
BA
and
English
MA
Literature.
English Literature.
Final year BA English Literature. Okay, so you have to put a start date and end date. In which year you started your BA and in which year it is going to end. Like in your case, it will be, or it should end into 2022. Okay, 2022 it is going to end. Then write the institute's name and university's name as well. Then you can write your percentage, CGPA, whatever in your case. Okay. Then comes your HSC, higher secondary. The similar thing, your institute's name of HSC, the university or board's name of your HSC, then your percentage, then your SSC. Only go till class 10th, that is SSC. Don't go below that. So once you are going to, you know, make a reverse chronological order, make, if you are postgraduate, good, not also good, you can put your graduation, then you can put your HSC, and then you can put your SSC. So these 3 things at least should come or should reflect into your educational qualification background, okay, in this particular section. That is the section number 3. Next is section number 4, which comprises of summer internship or work experience. Now in your case, you don't have much of work experience, but you may have internship, or if you may not have, I would request you and to the all the students that try to secure a kind of internship. There are various modes, there are various mediums right now. Online mediums are going very well currently. So try to secure a internship, okay? And this internship will actually provide you, once you are going to, you know, write your resume, you can mention it that I have done internship with so and so company as in the department, and you can write something into this particular section. Then comes section number 5. This section number 5 comprises of your accomplishments and achievements. If you may have you know, won some awards, some medals into your college time, like if you are a college topper, if you are a, you know, university topper, if you have done good into your board examinations, if you have been a good player into your team of hockey or cricket or football, or if you are a chess champion, whatever, you can put these things in terms of your achievements and accomplishments. Okay, so these things will actually highlight your accomplishments and achievements. Like if you are a college topper, so the employer will know that you are a sincere student. If you are a you know, if you are team of hockey, football, or cricket won a prize, or you have participated, that means your employer will indirectly understand that you are a team player. Okay, so these kind of things usually comes into accomplishments and achievements. Then comes skills and strength. So while writing the skills, be truthful to yourself. First thing, while writing to the skills or strength, both of the things, be truthful to yourself. Okay, you learn the skills through being taught or through experience. As you know, the skills are what? The skills are the set. Either you gain it through your kind of learning, or you experience something. Like communication is a kind of skill. Okay, communication is a skill. Like you may have certification in French language, or certification in MS Word or Excel or PowerPoint or Photoshop, or you may have a certification in computers or a diploma into computers. So you can mention these things over here in the skills segment. Now comes strength. Like strength comes like, you are a very organized person, and you are having good communication skill. So you can put strengths over here. Okay. So this is the section number 6. Now comes section number 7. Here are the personal details are shown, which comes in the last. Okay, because it comprises your date of birth. If you have a landline number, you can put it over here. Alternate number, you can put it over here. Nationality, that is Indian, you can put here. Permanent address, the permanent address which is there on your Aadhaar card or your passport or your ration card. So that you are going to put over here. Current address, which can be because currently you are in your hometown. If time may require, you have to move towards some big cities like Chennai or Bangalore, whichever close to you, I don't know, but you will go there. So you can write the current address of that particular city. And marital status, in your case, you should not mention it, and in resume it is not mandatory to mention a marital status. Okay, but in CV, yes, in CV marital status and other things, family background and all those things are mentioned, but in resume you should not mention all those things. Then comes references. Okay, references, that means you can put the reference of a person who knows you very well. Okay, the person who knows you very well, someone whose words can benefit you, like your academicians, like your professors, your principal, someone who's a renowned person in your area, maybe a leader, maybe a doctor or someone else, or if you have done internship, so your immediate reporting authority, his name and number you can put in the references. Okay, so this is the last section of your resume. So here I have explained it to you, everything about how to write a resume. I have explained to you the various sections which a resume should have. Now in the last few slides, I'm going to revise it. But before revising it, I'm just going to put forward some important points to you, that while writing a resume, how the paper should be. The paper should be A4 size. Again, I'm telling you to take a screenshot of this particular slide. This is going to serve a kind of important thing to you people while writing a resume. So use a A4 size paper, because there are various types of paper. There are different sizes of paper, like A4 size, letterhead, then there is A3 size. Okay, so there are different kind of papers. 80 GSM, which is known as executive bond paper. Okay, which is a good paper for a resume. White paper only. Okay, remember it. With font color black. Do not use different colors of font on your resume. Your resume should be only black and white. Why I'm telling you? Because yeah, colorful resumes are also there, but it is meant for the people who work in certain industry, like the people who work into the advertisement industry, or into modeling industry, or into film industry, television industry. They can make resumes like having Eastman color, various kind of multicolor resumes. But in our situation, the professional resume should only be black and white. Leave 1 inch margin all side. Okay. The font size for name, the very first section which appears, that font size, your name should be in 16. Okay. The font size should be 16. The font, the standard font should be Arial or Calibri. Okay. This is the font type. Okay. The size, your name should be 16 in bold. Then the section headings, as I have explained you the section 1, section 2, section 3. You should not write section, just simply write the name of the section. Like the number 1 will be Rahil Khan in my case. The size of the font will be 16. The type will be Arial or Calibri. Then comes the section. Now the next section's heading will be what? Objective statement. This objective statement, this particular font should be of 14. Size will be 14 and the font type will be Arial or Calibri, or you can even use Times New Roman, but not other fonts. Then font size 12 for balanced text. Okay, whatever objective statement you are going to write, it should be of 12 font size. Standard font, as I have explained to you. Envelope. If you are going to place your resume in a hard copy and you are going to send it by post, then the envelope should be of size 6x9 and you should fold the paper once only. Okay. Likewise, if this is the paper and this is the executive bond paper of ATGSM and this is having the size A4 size paper, so you have to just fold it once. Like this. Okay, like this. So there should be only one folding and you just have to place it into the envelope. Fine. If you are posting it, but nowadays most of the resumes go through emails. Then the resume layout, just for your just to give you a reminder, your name will come followed by your email ID, mobile number, and address. Then career objective or objective statement, then education or academics, current to SSC, then computer skills if you have, specialization if you have, achievements, hobbies and interest. Another thing people write it, I will explain it to you. Then comes personal details. Now if you are going to write hobbies and interest, and I would like you people, someone amongst you, to raise a question on this hobbies and interest. So we will discuss it in the question and answer session. Okay. Then comes, so that was your resume. I have explained it to you that how to make a standout resume. Fine. For a fresher, we are talking only about in the terms of a functional resume and a resume for a fresher, just people like you. Now comes the covering letter. I'm giving you some tips because every resume, whether you are sending it by post, okay, or you are sending it by email, electronical mail, all will, you know, accompany the resume with a covering letter. A covering letter to make sure that your resume arrives on the desk of the correct person. Okay, so you can write the name if you know to whom you are writing it. Then to persuade the person to read your resume by showing a job fit and organizational fit, that you are the fit person for the organization for doing certain job. Then to clearly say that what job you are interested in. Okay, like you are interested in the sales position or in the, you know, administration position or in the marketing position or etc, etc. Then to say why you want that particular job with that particular employer. Okay, here you can mention that why you want to do this particular job. Here, as I have mentioned to you, know yourself and know the company or know the job. So here you can write, because the company stand out in so many companies, it established in so and so year and grown so and so folds since then. So you can write a beautiful 2-line paragraph over here. Okay, by reading this particular 2 lines, the employer will really going to get touched and they are going to give you a chance to arrive in the interview. Fine. Then to draw attention to the key points in your resume and also draw some attention to the key points of your resumes, like the accomplishments which you have done, some achievements which you have, your qualification which you have, and also some skill sets you can mention over here. Fine. So here is the tips for writing the covering letter and my best resume writing tips. Number one is avoid vague terms like detail oriented or hard worker. Okay, these terms you should not mention. Then comes cite instances your skills benefited your team or employer, if any. If even in your internship you feel that you have benefited someone, to your job or to your organization, then you can put it over there. Make your contact information more prominent. Recheck that whether you have written your mobile number correctly, whether you have written your email ID correctly or not, because all the communications will be done through either your mobile phone or through your email address. So both the communication, or they can communicate by both. So you have to take caution while writing these two things. Then use bullet points for better readability. Bullets, like the ones which I have mentioned. Okay. Use clean job appropriate template. So you can use any template, but try to take consideration of a clean template, which should not distract the employer by reading. So here was some tips as well, and that was the session from my side. Now I would like to hear from your side if you want to ask anything from the student side.
Thank you, sir.
Faisal will unmute you. Students, please be interactive. If you have any confusions, if you would like to ask any questions, I am here. Mr. Faisal is going to unmute you and you can ask. So you can raise your hand by this and you can ask directly. Please go ahead. I would really like to hear someone, because see, I am sitting in Maharashtra, you are there in Tamil Nadu. We are having a session, from two different parts of our country. So please go ahead.
Students are requested, if you want to ask any question, you can raise hand. I will allow you to speak. So anyone, if you don't want to speak, then you can also type your question in the chat box. I will read out for you. Any queries? But there was a question in between from Santha T. What are the things to be included in hobbies section?
Okay, fine. We will discuss. Mr. Some Renju Burgess raised hand.
Yeah. Should I allow? Or
Yeah, sure.
yes, Renju, you can speak. Please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the class, and I would like to know about the hobbies and interest you talked about earlier.
Okay, got it. The same question was there as well, Mr. Faisal?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is.
Yeah, I can see the question. What are the things to be included in hobbies and hobbies section? Very good. Fine. Renju and Santha, both of you, for asking this particular question. Hobbies section is something, if you are writing it, write it with utmost caution that you are writing a resume. Okay. And you are applying for a professional job. You are not applying for a marriage proposal. Likewise, biodata comes. This is the third kind. One is a curriculum vitae, another one is a CV, and the third one, which is a biodata. Biodata is usually for marriage proposals, wherein we write, kind of hobbies which you have. But in resumes as well, you can write some hobbies. But considering in point what your job offers to you. Like if you are writing the hobbies, be truthful. If you're writing, like I used to write reading and writing, which was my hobby and which is my hobby. Reading is as well and writing as well. But I do not write but means not much. Scientific writing, yes, I do. But the things which I used to write when I was in my college days, or even after my college days, when I was into my very fresh state of my jobs, like for initial 5-4 years, I used to write various quotations, and I have got this privilege to share kind of company of people who actually belongs to English literature. I used to write some quotations like the one I wrote long back ago. That was like it goes like patient leads to triumph as dawn conquers the dusk. So that was something which I have learned through my experience and I wrote it. Okay. I also wrote some other quotations like there is nothing like a full stop. Even death is a comma. So these were my quotations which I wrote. I used to read a lot. I used to read literatures, whether it was religious literature, whether it was literature into English language. I used to read various novels. I was a very great fan of Sidney Sheldon and Chetan Bhagat as well to quite some extent. But I used to read. So I used to write these things. And what happened that in some of the interviews, the interviewer asked me that you have written your hobbies like reading and writing. I said, yes, sir. So can you tell me what you read? Do not give that what your textbook, says. If you are writing, reading and writing, say something which you have read apart from your syllabus. So this is something from my side. If you are, if you are a fan of cricket, if you play cricket, playing cricket. If you are writing, watching cricket, that means you are just like to watch cricket, because there are some people who just like to watch cricket. You do not like to play cricket. So while writing the hobbies section, you should touch only the things which are really your hobbies are. Okay, but do not do. Now over here, I would just like to raise a question on hobbies. Ranju and to Samantha as well, or to other people as well. What are your hobbies, Ranju?
I actually do some paintings and stuff.
Painting. Very good. Very good. So painting is your hobby. Fine. Anyone else? They can write it something in chat box. Someone may have listening to music. Music. Calligraphy. Very good. Shanta said. Learning other languages. Very good. Fatima said. Very good. Very good hobbies. Now answer this particular question. We all know Sachin Tendulkar. Yes, we all know. Sachin Tendulkar, do you think that Sachin Tendulkar's hobby was cricket or not? Was cricket Sachin Tendulkar's? Exactly. That's what the once you are sitting in the people who are belonging to English literature, here the words go. Like Sachin Tendulkar's cricket was Sachin Tendulkar's passion. Okay, and hobbies are something which you do for a pastime. Okay, once you don't have any work, or sometimes you don't have any work, or sometimes you want to just be into your own self, so you can do those things like hobbies, like reading. I do not read literature on daily basis, okay, because that doesn't allow, the time doesn't allow me. But these are the hobbies. But I would tell you people that do not touch these topics in such an age. Okay, so if you are staying away by not writing your hobbies into your resume, that would be much more better for all of you. Okay, so thank you very much. If you have another question,
anyone who wants
yeah, Shanta T is asking again that is it necessary to have declaration part in resume section, sir? Yes, you can write declaration, which is a declaration by your own side. Okay, and once you are writing the declaration, it goes like, I so and so declare all the above mentioned information is correct to my knowledge, and you are signing it. By signing it, you are declaring that whatever you have written, you are actually self-attesting it or self-certifying it. The information given by you are true. So this is what declaration is all about. Yes, next.
anyone? Any other questions? So there are no more questions, sir. So now I would like to end the session, and before ending the
Yeah, because this was the topic given allotted to me that the powerful resume or CV writing, which is also the theme of today's webinar or today's session. Hence, I have just kept the things till resume writing only. Otherwise, usually Mr. Faisal also know we take more things like interview techniques, how to prepare for an interview, and all those things. So no issues. Inshallah, next time if the things will come, if Siddiq sir will allow us, we will definitely do the rest of the things. Thank you.
So thank you, sir. And before ending the session, I would now invite Siddiq sir for the vote of thanks. And before that, I would like to request all the students and participation to please share your feedback. I have shared the feedback form in the chat box. So everyone is requested to please share the feedback. Siddiq sir.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, Rahil Khan, sir. It was a wonderful session. You have given all the things in a nutshell, so students will be aware of these things, and you have dissected the complete resume into different sections. It was wonderful, and I hope that it gave a clear idea to the students where to put the things, whatever they have. The thing is, students may not know where to fit the things. So the dissection part which you gave was clear. So student will be able to put where to add their hobbies, where to give the declaration part, or how to give their academic things in reversal order. So all these things were necessary. Thanks a lot, sir, for giving us your time. And on behalf of my institution and personally, I would like to thank Mr. Faisal Nadeem of AMP for providing this opportunity, for bridging the gap, though in a digital manner. He was then and there when I call him, he was there to answer my call. So I thank him on behalf of my institution and personally also. Thank you, AMP, and thank you, Faisal Nadeem, sir. And I would like to thank all my students also, because they attended the internal test for the past 3 days and they attended today. And I thank every one of you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. And the pleasure is always mine. I just would like to request the students and to you as well, Siddiq sir, that if the students can make their own resumes and they can send it to you, so you can, verify, because that would be a kind of practical, workshop kind of a thing, that you can actually check that whether the students are making the resumes or not. And today we have not touched that topic called interview techniques, which we usually take, and those in that particular part, because that is also a very lengthy part. In that interview techniques, we actually explain the students that how they can manage themselves in the interview part, what to wear, how to talk, the body language, time management, all those things come hand in hand in this section called interview techniques. So it is not possible in one session today, but next time we will try.
Thank you, sir.
In the upcoming sessions.
Sure. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, participant. Thank you, trainer, for the Rahil sir, for such a wonderful session. And inshallah, we will continue these sessions in future with Siddiq sir. Thank you, everyone, once again. Thank you. We are ending the session.